Have you seen this podcast? Coming from the garden aisle. Have you seen this podcast? Aldrine, Aaron, and Kahai. This is the podcast. This is the podcast with lots of aloha. Here they come from Kauai.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ukulele on the Ground podcast. My name is Aldrine Guerrero. Joining me are Mr. Aaron, the voice, Nakamura. What's up, Aaron?
What's up?
And Mr. Kahai, the legend, Fergan. What's up, Kahai?
What's up?
It's always a nice time when we're all in the studio together, but sometimes, sometimes we gotta just do it from home.
What is it? Like, distance makes the heart grow
Yeah,
fonder.
that's it. Wow. Kai, thank you, Kahai. I know what you're trying to say. So you don't gotta spell it out. Read you loud and clear.
I really missed you, Aaron. Thank you.
Yeah, Aaron, you good, bud? Yeah, we missed you. We missed you. Last week was an Aldrine and Kahai show, but we read it like a normal podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
We also have to ask Aaron those questions, right? Like that.
Oh
like,
yeah, I guess so.
we
I
have to
guess
pass
so.
it
Yeah,
on to
we
Aaron.
gotta pass it out. We'll do it at the end. We'll handle, since Aaron's here. It's the Ukulele on the Ground podcast. It's no longer the Aldrine and Kahai show. So we gotta do the Ukulele on the Ground thing. We gotta answer ukulele questions. So what we do here on the podcast is we answer any and all of your ukulele or music related questions, or just questions in general. You can ask us whatever you want. Send us your questions however you want to send us your questions. You can send us via email, via text, via we have a voicemail that you can call and leave a voicemail. So if you want to hear your voice on the show, we are live whenever we do this, so we take audience questions live as well. So with that said, Kahai, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah. So we didn't really prepare any questions or anything, but I thought about.
Dude, do we ever? I feel like maybe you do.
Sometimes
I just sit in the chair and it is the hottest seat.
Yeah, and I usually run it by Aaron at first, but I didn't. So we'll see how this question goes. But like, so you guys been doing the Ukulele Club, running the Ukulele Club in Kauai for a while. And then last week you did Wagon Wheel. You mentioned that that's a staple at other ukulele clubs in the mainland. And then also like Island Style, right? There's staple jam songs.
Right.
What are some songs that you think that clubs should consider that they don't play very often, but are good songs like, Island Style or Wagon Wheel that are like fun and people can get into it and jam?
Songs that people should know. Yeah. Oh, okay, dude. I got tons.
Or specifically for that setting, I guess, right?
Yeah.
For clubs and jams and that kind of stuff.
Right. Number one on my list, like that should be. I don't know why it isn't. Fish and Poi. Like that just seems like a no-brainer, right? Like it will what you call? It caters to the Hawaiians in the mainland. Like the Hawaii people in the mainland, they should know like Sha Na'awao. They should, or at least if they don't know Sha Na'awao, they know what Fish and Poi is, or the song, right?
Yeah.
And people who are not from Hawaii, who love like Hawaiian music, ukulele music or whatever, would be totally into a song called Fish and Poi and talking about like Hawaiian food and stuff. I'm glad you asked that question because this has been on my mind, honestly. And the top of that list is Fish and Poi. I'm shocked that it's not. That is not like an Ukulele Club staple, because that should be an Ukulele Club staple.
Yeah. Sha Na'awao was part of Mana'o Company too, right?
The people who popularized Drop Baby Drop. So it's not like it's unheard of. I
So
feel like
it's sort of part of that lineage of starter songs for clubs.
Yes.
Or jams. Or
Yes, exactly. So that's right at the top. Like that's and like the next one, I can't even think of another one. Like I'm so passionate about Fish and Poi being a thing.
we gotta add that to our list then.
Yeah, dude, I'm down. Do we have Fish and Poi?
It's on.
Oh
there?
yeah, all right on. I love that song. Another one, like there's some like Hawaiian like standards that I feel like should be on. Like Noke Ano Ahi Ahi is definitely one that like people should know that one too, you know. We did at our ukulele club this past weekend. We did "I Miss You, My Hawaii," like from Naleo Pilimihana. That was another good one. Another one that they do is like Honolulu City Lights. That's one that I feel like should speak to like. I don't know, because when you go to an ukulele club, like in the mainland, let's separate the two. Like if you go to a ukulele club in the mainland, either one, you want to learn how to play the ukulele and jam with other people. Okay. 2, you already play the ukulele, and you used to live in Hawaii and want to just like, want to get away from your mainland vibe and just go and play ukulele with a bunch of people playing like Hawaii kind of songs. Yeah. And 3, it's people that play ukulele but live in the mainland, have vacation to Hawaii and want to get that vibe also. And I feel like those songs that I just listed are songs that you would want to play if that's the vibe that you're going for. And they're not hard. Like I think "I Miss You, My Hawaii" is there's a bunch of chords in there, but once you get it down, like I feel like it's one that that it's not it's not too bad. And once you get it down, it's definitely one of those songs that you'd want to play over and over and over.
I think and there's songs that people think of when they think of Hawaii, like "White Sandy Beach," right?
Yeah,
and those are great songs, but as like a group song, like "Fish and Poi" feels like a lot more fun.
Yeah,
like you start playing it and it's like, oh, this is fun to play as a group.
Another Molokai Slide, but I think some people are starting to catch on to Molokai Slide. I think Molokai Slide is being played at some clubs, but definitely not "Fish and Poi." I don't think I've been to a club that played "Fish and Poi," and that's a travesty that we have to correct, I feel like. I love that song. What's another one? Just stuff that I grew up with, maybe like just like some Jawaiian classics, like on top of that, like
I think in sort of in that same vein. Never Forget Where I'm From by Justin. Or 2500 by Ho'onua.
Oh, 25. Oh, I love that song. Miles from Home. Yeah, that's another one that should speak to mainland Hawaiians. It's
because I feel like "Fish and Poi" talks about food, right? And then "Never Forget Where I'm From" isn't there like a line about like grabbing a plate lunch or something like that?
Mr. Local Grinds, you know what kind of mean, lao lao, poke poi, and yes, Kalua pig, L&L plate lunch, ooh, what a winner, Karma brought us up, hey, go Paina. I love that song. So yeah, these are songs that I wish and I hope become standards for ukulele clubs. I'm gonna try to do that in our ukulele club. We definitely need to add those songs. "Fish and Poi." Maybe I should teach "Fish and Poi" today. I was thinking about revisiting another song for class today, but maybe do "Fish and Poi" and do that picking. That'd be sick. Okay. I might have to redo my lesson plans for AG Ukulele Academy today, I think.
That really was like a classic growing up, and it's like if you knew to play that, or if you just started playing that, people knew what you're playing.
Yeah, just from the riff alone, and it's not a hard riff. Been many places, tasted all the flavors. For those that don't know, that's the song that we're talking about. One thing I can't understand is why I'm never satisfied. There's nothing like the feeling. It's like F sharp minor, D, and E7. It's not hard. You could do it in C, every
if you really
wanted to do it for club. C, A minor, F, G7, and then it goes. I start to head back home. I call my brothers up on the phone. Special place where you can bulk up for days, and then that's it. I like the fish in poi. I'm a big boy, loan me Sammy Pipi Kaula extra large lily koi.
It's like you can just imagine like with a club, right? It's like everybody joining in on the chorus.
Yeah, the chorus. Yeah.
So that's a
love
great
that song. We come from the no, you don't gotta do that part.
No.
Yeah, I think Never Forget Where I'm From has that too. Yeah,
I guess so.
rap.
Yeah. Maybe that's what's deterring people.
Yeah, obligatory Jawaiian rap.
Yeah, there's tons of like, another one is like Menehune Beach Bum Boogie is another one that like maybe a little bit more obscure. That I feel like should be a staple, especially coming from a guy that comes from Kauai, that is where Menehunes are rumored to be from. That's another good one. Just stuff like that. I feel like. But then again, I grew up in like a different generation than the people who are starting clubs, or even some Kalapana stuff, like I don't know if there's like or C and K. There's a bunch of like easy C and K songs that should be like standards, but are not. You know?
I feel like maybe some of the clubs on the mainland that might be like somewhere deep in their books, but it's not one of those that is played often.
Yes.
I guess too, like clubs on the mainland, they do try to focus on maybe songs that their members knew or know, right?
Yeah.
So that's why it's like they wouldn't be familiar with these local songs that we grew up with.
Or like a Hawaiian style band song, like those, what's a Hawaiian style band song that I mean, P.E. Mai Kanalu? No, but that's Sister Roby. Like stuff like that, like in that era, there was like so much from that era that like you could just pick and choose from it and teach people, and then make it
Rhythm of the Ocean, maybe.
Yeah. Feel the rhythm. That's another good one.
That's pretty easy because it's all in English.
Yeah. Rhythm of the Ocean. Another one is Aloha by like Manao Company. If we're talking about other Manao Company songs, it's two chords. It's two chords.
That should definitely be, because you don't have to be from Hawaii
to know what Aloha or to spell it.
Or like resonate with that song. So
that's there you go. Kahai, we gave you a bunch.
I've
been thinking about this for a while, so I have lots of opinion on it, man. What do people think?
People are just. I know Rob said that his Uke group, it like focuses on like pop and rock songs, I think. Okay, so here's there's a quote. The problem with our group is the focus is on rock, folk, and pop, not Hawaiian songs. I would love to see Hawaiian songs covered here.
It doesn't have to be Hawaiian. Like Fish and Poi is not. It's from Hawaii, but it's not like a Hawaiian. Like I don't think there's a Hawaiian word in there that isn't food.
But
maybe that's what he's just talking about. Just like songs from Hawaii.
I mean, like, and that's probably why, or it's like island style, right? It's like in the title itself, it's like, oh, I know exactly what that song is talking about, or Wagon Wheel, or Margaritaville, all of those songs. Is like, I know those songs, and that's
But I think it's just that. I think like the songs that we're talking about wasn't very popular with like that age demographic of people that are starting clubs now. They're a little bit newer.
So if you guys are in clubs, like check out those songs and like I don't know, and see if you guys have fun playing it.
And there's other John Cruz songs too. Like that would be good. Like Shine On would be awesome. I think if people like played Shine On a lot more. There's Be There. It's a beautiful, but it's a little slow. But I love that song. There's like a haunting rendition of that song where it's like John Cruz and Ernie Cruz Jr. sitting at a beach. Oh my God.
I think that's the one that pops up when you look on YouTube.
Be There.
Yeah.
Oh, it's giving me chicken skin right now. Man. I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, oh man, I miss that man. See it? There it is.
Great song.
Oh my gosh, chicken skin.
Yeah.
Just thinking about that video, it's so laid back. There's two of them like acoustic, both of them playing guitar and just singing that song, and oh man, so good. If you haven't,
because was it written by Ernie?
I think so. I think Ernie wrote that song.
Yeah.
And then John was like, "Hey, can can I have this one?
Yeah.
Or so the second one, the second Ernie Cruz, second John Cruz album, the blue one, really really good. It's not just the acoustic soul album that is good, although that is a great album. But I think One of Those Days it's called, and Portraits by Ernie Cruz Jr. Just treat yourself to some Cruz music because it's so good. Yeah. Both of those albums, amazing.
Hurricane is one of my favorite songs. From John.
Yeah. So good. Did when you guys played at On Stage in Kapahulu, like would he sometimes play?
No,
because that's like the Cruises, like that's their territory. Like, on stage.
Yeah, no. I don't think he was ever there when we played there. Yeah,
because sometimes when we play, it's just like we don't know that there was like somebody after us because we're playing a 3-hour set. Like till like. I don't know, till 8, 9 o'clock. Yeah. And then there's like, and then now these guys come on for like 2-3 hours.
Yeah. Is it John who's like classically trained or something?
Yeah, he went to like New York and and learned jazz.
Yeah, he was in like theater.
Yeah.
And then
into Berkeley or something, like some kind of music school. He went to music school.
Yeah. Or performing arts school, I think, and stuff. So maybe it's like while you guys were at that time, he was like doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like that, so
the most local guy. Like if you talk to him, he's like super duper local. But like don't let that fool you. That man knows what he's talking about. He knows music. He knows music business. Like more importantly, he's very good music business wise. Like he knows.
Yes. Yeah. Very good.
Yeah. What was it like? The Makana. The Slacky artist, he said that like John went to New York so I didn't have to. Basically, like he learned so much from John that it's like, Makana, his like he probably would have ended up there, but he was like, I don't know, John did it, so I didn't have to do it. Like I learned
his lessons from John.
I learned so much from him that
also Makana, check out Makana, great slacky.
Yeah,
and just guitar in general.
Yeah. I think sometimes he plays with Jeff Peterson too. Right?
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. Okay, so Rue had a question.
Rue. All right, what's the question?
So this is like talking. There's part of other stuff in this, but I had an 8-string Kalo laminate which I sold to a friend last year because I needed space and wasn't playing it much.
Okay.
But now, after listening to some Bluegrass albums, I am thinking about a multi-string again, most likely 6-string. What do you think about these? Is it possible to fingerpick effectively?
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of people that fingerpick with those, like in Hawaiian music, and you can definitely do it. But if we're talking like mandolin style, or if we're talking like banjo style, if you're going banjo style, you kind of need that reentrant, which the 8th string just doesn't have. Like it has a reentrant, but it also has a low G on it. Yeah.
Well, he was saying 6-string, so if the G was not doubled on the 6th string,
so it would be like a double C and double A maybe, and so you just have to like strategically know like which strings that you're doubling up and which strings you're using for that, if you're going to use it for finger picking. But if you're going to use it like mandolin style, then I feel like that could work, but I don't know, like you can use it for finger picking. I don't see any problem with it. It'll just sound different. It'll sound like if you were to do like a 12-string guitar. Like don't think of it as like, as a banjo or mandolin. I would think of it as a 12-string guitar. Like that's a better way of looking at it. So anything that you would do with a 12-string guitar, you would probably do on an 8-string or 6-string, 5-string ukulele or 6-string ukulele. That's but you can. I think it's good for finger picking. Yeah. Yep. Next.
I don't know if you know. Josh Rubin said, was it Harry Koizumi that led to Jake playing rock and roll style ukulele from his high school days?
I don't know. The name Harry Koizumi does not ring a bell. I mean, might be, like a friend of his from high school. I don't know if Jake did a show and talked about that recently. I haven't been to a Jake show in a long time, so maybe he's telling new stories, and that might be one of them. So I don't know. I can't say, but he's always been kind of into the rock and roll, kind of thing. And you can tell from just him doing Pure Heart, you can hear a lot of rock influences in that already. So it's not all of a sudden he got into it. So you could tell that it was rooted from even before he went solo and did a lot of rock stuff on his albums. You could tell he does a lot of flamenco. He combines all those kinds of styles, but it wasn't super obvious up until the Colon album, where he would do some distortion stuff, some tapping and things like that. So that was the first album he leaned into the more rock style. It was Colon. But what caused it? I don't know. I am friends with Jake, but I don't, you know what I mean? Not his mother.
and for most artists too, it's the influence of multiple people throughout your lifetime, right? That made you
because he has stated that he likes stuff like Jimi Hendrix and and Jimmy Page and whatnot, so he's definitely been inspired by a lot of people. But as far as who is the one that really pushed him, I don't know, but he's mentioned a bunch of different artists that he's influenced by. So yeah.
And Josh said Harry told me and Jake remembers him. So yeah, I guess so.
Oh, maybe I should start stuff because I know Jake.
yeah. I was the one that told Jake to do whatever.
Yeah. Do you remember Aldrine Guerrero? I was like, oh yeah, I remember Aldrine Guerrero. I was like,
yeah. I was the one that told him about Gently Weeps, and then he figured it out himself. But so not taking anything away from him. But...
yeah. I should start a rumor like that. Yeah. What can I start? What's one that could be plausible?
It's we talk about stuff like this, and we're laughing as we're talking about it. So you think it would be obvious that it's we're not being this is sarcasm, right?
Yeah.
Put /s at the end.
We gotta put.
You guys know we're joking. We just gotta make it obvious that you guys know that we're joking.
Yeah, but people are gonna be nope. That is totally what you guys.
But I do remember when I was in college, going to college, Kapiolani. I was like, Jake, it would sound pretty good. I don't know, maybe a Queen song, perhaps. That's all I told him. I mean, not saying that it was me that planted the seed of me, that led to him doing Bohemian Rhapsody. But I'm just saying, in the year 2000 and I want to say 4, right? 2004.
Before it came out.
Way before it came out, and we were hanging out. We were at the cafeteria of the Kapiolani Community College, after doing a performance at the cafeteria. We're sitting down, we're eating, we're hanging out. I'm like, Jake, what you should do? You should do a Queen song. I mean, there's a bunch of Queen songs that you could do, but you know which one you should.
And then Jake was like, Queen? I've never heard of Queen.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's right.
I'll go check them
out.
I'll go listen. I'm like, no, they're really good. You should listen to this one and this one and this one. And I don't know, maybe in passing, I might have said Bohemian Rhapsody. Try ask Jake to see if he remembers me. Just say, you remember Aldrine Guerrero, right?
I know Aldrine.
They're just this little small time band. Yeah, you should really check them out.
Yeah. Queen. Look them up. That's at that point you can download them on Kazaa. Yeah, you can look it up on Kazaa Lite and download some Queen songs. Just the most popular. I don't know which one it is, but maybe it might be this one that was featured on Wayne. Remember, you ever seen Wayne's World? You ever seen Wayne's World? That movie, Wayne's World 2? Remember that song that movie starts out with? That one. I feel like that one you should do. Yeah.
So this might be more plausible as a Daniel Ho. If Daniel Ho said that he told Jake.
Yeah, so that's the rumor now. So go spread it. Go spread it, my children.
Yeah.
Go spread it. Go tell people I don't know. They're like back in 2004 at Kapilani Community College, Aldrine and Jake were playing, and I think when they were just like hanging out after the show, they're like, hey, you should do some Queen songs. Planted that seed. Yeah, not taking anything away from him, not taking credit for the arrangement itself, but just saying maybe those words. If I didn't say those words, would that song have come up? Like who knows?
Probably actually.
I'm just saying.
And then after that, like so many like solo albums and world tours.
Because when Ryan and I used to play at and this is for real. Ryan and I used to play at Oasis before Aaron and I played at Oasis.
Yeah, before it was called Oasis.
It was called Tahitian Lanai, okay? And there's this couple that used to go. And they're like, you should play Hotel California. And I'm like, I know the song. I know how to play the song. I have an arrangement of that song already and stuff. But I'm just like, because they were super annoying about it, I was like, I don't want to do it, Yeah. Because if you... And you can see it, and some people probably get this experience from the Aloha Friday Live Jam. Like, if the more the more you get annoying about stuff, like the more we don't want to do things, So there was this lady, I'm not gonna say her name. There was this lady that's like, you should play that song, and then when she stopped going, and then I brought it up when we started playing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we should play that. We should do. I have an arrangement of that song that we can do for the live show. Because Ryan and I never played that. It was me and you that started playing that. And then she came because the guy that she used to go with moved over to Alaska. This is kind of telling on who it is, but then he came back for vacation, and they came to the show, and then I remember that time I told you should play that song. You finally learned it. You finally used it. I'm just like,
I take credit for that.
Yeah. And then no, seriously, that's what she tells everyone. She tells everyone that we used to give Aldrine these ideas of songs to play and stuff, and now he plays them, and it sounds good. Now he said sounds great, So she's telling people that that was my idea to do this song and that song. We told them to do that. I'm like, yeah, now I already knew how to do that one or anything. Now me, Seth, and Andrew were playing that in high school for Puating or anything. Just it is you. All right, you. Go. Okay, there's your pat in the back,
It's like the butterfly effect. It's like, without me giving that tip to that person, there never would have been world peace.
But yeah, so I know that feeling of I told Aldrine to do this and he did. I was the one who now he plays it around the world. Now he played it in Italy with with Feng Yi and Evan J. Da Silva. That was me that did that. Hey, next guy.
Rob kind of added on and said that he wasn't really thinking of a banjo or mandolin style. He was just thinking about something more full with the just looking for that fuller sound, but with reentrant with double C and E might be interesting. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So, but we went that direction because you mentioned finger picking and bluegrass and stuff. That's why we said that, dude. You see where that went, right? That's why we mentioned that. So we went through that tangent, and now you're like, oh, I wasn't thinking that. It's like, well, you said bluegrass, and those are the two main bluegrass instruments that I know. But if we're talking sounding full, that you don't need to listen to bluegrass to or do bluegrass tunes or play in a bluegrass setting in order to to hear the fullness of that. But it is a totally different sound. It's a totally different approach to the instrument. You wouldn't approach it how you would with a 4-string, other than maybe chord shapes and stuff and strumming. But a lot of things change because of know.
And I kind of feel like ukulele would fit with bluegrass anyway. Yeah, even if it's not a double-stringed instrument.
I think what you said though, that think of it as a 12-string guitar, right?
Yeah,
because bluegrass does use 12-string guitar.
That's exactly what I said. Yeah.
So,
Okay, next.
I don't know. I don't know if we have more questions. Let me look through all of the stuff.
I see. So last week Monday, while Aaron was gone, we did have an Aldrine and Kahai show, and someone asked us, right?
Yeah.
What is your guilty pleasure movie? Is that what it was?
First, it was from Chris.
Yeah.
And Chris asked, so for you, Aaron, what is a movie that you've seen multiple times?
Oh yeah.
That I've seen multiple
Yeah.
times.
Yeah. We also, like, me and Aldrine gave like movies that we've seen multiple times, and we can like seen it so much that we can like recall the line.
Like that kind of.
Yeah.
Nothing recently. It was more like when you're a kid, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's for me too. Yeah.
That was one of those things.
Right.
I would have to say Mighty Ducks 2, D2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Not Mighty Ducks 1?
I've definitely
Mighty
seen
Ducks
it
2.
multiple times, but I think probably cumulatively I've seen D2 more times than I've seen Mighty Ducks. Yeah.
D2 was the one with Keenan, or was
Yeah.
D1 like was he also in part 1, or
No,
he was only in part
only
2?
in
Okay.
2.
Knuckle Puck.
Yeah.
It's Knuckle Puck time.
and
Yeah,
it's-
okay, got it.
He came in because they were playing street hockey with him in LA, right?
Yeah.
He's that player.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
They were there for the Junior Goodwill Games, not the Big O or like the big games. Yeah, it was specifically so that they didn't have to pay for the rights.
Olympics.
Yeah, for the big
awesome.
games. Yeah.
Did Miracle come out before that or after that?
I don't know.
It's like, isn't it kind of similar where it's like, ooh, there's a foreign team that we're playing against. Ooh,
Yeah.
the big foreign team.
I know I'm constantly wearing a hockey hat, a hockey team hat, but it doesn't mean that like I know a lot about hockey. But I recall being part of a group called Makalea, which is like me, myself. We had you guys have seen Mark Baldonado before. Ryan Isaki, definitely. You guys know as a former owner of Ukulele on the Ground, and then Mike Fernandez. The four of us. I remember my first ever like music band trip with like a band that wasn't like the high school band, was with them to the Big Island. And like the cool rock star thing that we did was like we rented movies and we could like stay up all night and just like watch those movies. And one of the movies, and definitely the one that I fell asleep to, was Miracle. Because I guess Ryan and Mark were like big hockey fans, And I'm just trying to be cool with the band, and I'm like, yeah, I'll watch Miracle, I guess. And it was like, what is this about? Like, what is hockey even, And yeah, I just remember falling asleep in that movie. I don't think I've ever seen Miracle all the way through. Is my confession.
Yeah, it's like if you like Mighty Ducks, you won't like Miracle because it's like they don't have any special moves at all. They don't have any special formations. What?
Yeah. So I remember we might have gotten like Mighty Ducks 1 and 2 and Miracle. It was like a hockey I was down for Mighty Ducks 1 and 2. Like I love Disney films and stuff, and I like Keaton. So. Yeah, but I remember them putting Miracle on and just like fall. That's when I fell asleep.
Yeah, and then so after Chris asked that question, we also talked about what is your guilty pleasure movie?
Guilty pleasure
like
movie.
a movie that is either like
you like but
critically-
nobody else does.
Yeah, it's like recognized as like not a good movie.
Not a good
movie.
You still
But
like
you
it
like it.
anyways.
I don't know. There's not anything.
My taste is too refined. I don't like bad movies.
No, I mean, I guess like it'd just be like an obscure movie,
Okay.
and it's like from the same time period.
Okay. Which
Right?
one?
Airborne.
The dog one?
No. So there
No,
was
was Air Bud.
Yeah. No, and there were multiple movies like titled Airborne, but there was like a movie from the early 90s, and it starred it didn't star. It was like, I forget who it was. It was like a surfer guy who went to Cincinnati.
Okay.
Yeah. And so like so it's funny because like the star of the movie never became a star. But also in that movie was Jack Black as a behind the scenes character.
Huh.
And then Seth Green was also in that movie.
Huh.
Yeah,
I
and it was
ever
like
heard of
it was
Airborne.
just like very obscure. Like it was considered a flop. Like nobody actually watched that movie, but it's great. It's it's basically that that same plot line where it's like, oh, the fish out of water kind, where like he's a kid from California and then he ends up in Cincinnati and he has to like
to do what?
make friends because his parents were scientists or something and they were gonna go to Costa Rica for science and he was like, oh yeah, surfing, like I get to I get to spend like the entire summer or like the entire school year surfing in Costa Rica. And then they were like, no, you're not going with us. We're going to send you to your aunt and uncle's house in Cincinnati. And so he has to like make the best of it. And he gets bullied by the locals and stuff. And so, but it's really good.
I've never seen it. I've never even heard of it. I don't think.
Airborne.
Yeah.
But it's
Airborne.
like a very young, like, I want to say either teens or 20s. Like Jack Black and then a really, really young Seth Green, both of whom stole the show. If you watch all of their scenes, it's like great. Yeah.
I talked about Kung Pao because like that's considered a flop.
Yeah.
But it has a cult following, so it's not like it's not like nobody likes it. Like,
I don't like that movie, actually.
I love that
I have
movie.
cousins who love that movie.
I love that. I can quote the whole, the whole thing. That's that's my guilty pleasure movie. But another one that those internet memes of like, what's an opinion that gets you, that gets you looking like this, and it's like swords up to the neck kind of thing. Is I think that you guys might hate me, and I don't think I've ever said this to anybody. I am actually a fan of the Jackie Chan Karate Kid.
Oh,
with Jaden Smith.
Not canon.
I really liked that movie. But then I was afraid of saying I like that movie to other people because they're like, oh, there's a travesty. And most of my friends are like 80s, classic cultists, that kind of thing. And I didn't want to say like, I kind of enjoyed it. It was pretty good, like I love Jackie Chan and I feel like the kid Jaden Smith did a pretty good job,
I maybe I would object more to the next Karate Kid if you said that was your favorite,
Is that the one with Susan Sarandon?
Hilary Swank.
Oh, Hilary Swank. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Hilary Swank.
Yeah.
And that's
There's an S in
yeah,
there.
I'd probably object more to that if that was what you said.
And my sister loves that one.
Really? Hilary Swank. Dude, yeah, I don't know. Like the visuals were great, and it was definitely just like a China tourism video, to kind of promote.
I think I watched it and I was like, it wouldn't be that bad if they just used a different
Like a Kung
property.
Fu Kid.
Yeah,
Like Karate Kid.
Yeah,
Well,
if
it's
not-
like if they called it something else, but obviously it's like wink, wink. This is the idea, right?
Yeah.
That we're remaking Karate Kid.
Yeah, they didn't even call it. They didn't even say karate.
No,
And
'cause it's all Kung Fu.
It's Kung Fu. But the ending move compared to the swan kick or whatever,
it was much
it was
better.
way cooler. He did this 360 one-legged kick. Oh, it was sick. And and the training with the bamboo and it was awesome. It was so good. It was okay. That's probably gonna get me flamed. Way better than Karate Kid, the one with Ralph Macchio. I know I'm gonna get lots of hate for that, but that movie, I felt like Ralph Macchio was the bad guy. Honestly, he was such a bully in that movie.
Isn't that the premise of the Karate Kid series?
Cobra Kai.
Yeah, Cobra Kai.
yeah.
Yeah, he's such a he just moves into the new place, makes as if he's Mr. Cool Guy or whatever, starts fights with people. He was the one who started fights. I just gotta say it. I think Jackie Chan's Kung Fu Kid, Kung Fu Kid,
so.
way better than
If it was
Ralph
that,
Macchio.
if that was the title,
Pat Morita Karate Kid. Just that. I'm gonna say it, and I don't care. Like I said, I have Teflon skin. Flame me all you want. I don't care. Go have at it. Have at it.
Yeah, it's like or Yeah, I like Karate Kid too when they go to Okinawa and it's like the ending move of like
it's Okinawa. Oh, it's Okinawa. God, get it right.
As in Okinawan, so proud. People know my homeland for their tiny little wooden drums that go tuck 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 tuck.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That was like another thing too. It's like I like working here where it's like when we go to a record store and I show you guys, I got the album for Surf Ninjas. It's not, what is Surf Ninjas? It's like, oh, that's cool. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. You guys knew what that was. And that also too, I think if people watch that same thing, right, where it's like, this isn't necessarily a good movie. But yeah,
I'll be right there. I gotta wax my board. I'll catch up with you guys. See if you don't know that reference.
Even that one is like a young Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider. Yeah. It's just you guys go ahead. I'm just wax my board. All right, that's kind of like, okay, me saying the Kung Fu Kid better than Karate Kid is like somebody coming up to you and said Jurassic World was better than Jurassic Park. How do you feel?
Jurassic World is better than Jurassic Park. It's okay. Wait, whoa, yeah. When you said that about the karate, I was like, it's okay for him to like the Karate Kid, the Jackie Chan Karate Kid. And when he said it's better than the original,
it stung a little bit, huh?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, but the entire time we're rooting for the bad guy.
No, you're supposed to root for Pat Morita. Pat Morita is a real like hero of that movie. Yeah. Yeah,
and it's crazy because he's like, oh, like the wax on, wax off, and like he takes care of his cars. But like with Jackie Chan, it's like, he takes care of his cars, he builds it, and then he destroys it because like he feels bad as like that. Like lost his kid in that accident. It was like there's a backstory, It's great, it's great. But I think people were just fixated of like this isn't Karate Kid. I'm like just watch it for what it is. It's actually really good.
Yeah, same thing. It's like Jurassic World. I watch Jurassic World because it's like there's a T-Rex in it. I gotta watch that Jurassic World. But it's like I know it's not good. So
yeah, that's kind of like now half our audience is like, you know what? I don't even know what to think about Aldrine's opinions anymore. Even ukulele wise, like his taste in movies is terrible. He likes Kung Pao and the Karate Kid, the Jackie Chan version. All right, Kahai, next. What we got?
I don't
people
know.
hating on me now? Awesome, bring it. No. Give me the best hate comment, please.
People are just talking about like bad movies that they like and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if we can help this person, but maybe we can point them in the right direction.
Try it out. Hit me.
Okay, so Pam said, I'm very much a beginner and would like to find an easy version of the Fly by Iz to surprise my hubby. He loves that song. Any ideas on where to find it?
Oh, that's pretty easy. It's like 3 chords. So if you like that song, it's very simple chords. It's like C, F, and G7. That's if you learn those 3 chords. And he goes, there was a little fly. He flew into the store. He on the table, on the floor, on the eggs, and on the ham, on the head of the little grocery man. It's just, you don't gotta play the picking, you don't gotta do like the.
It looks like it's in G, so.
Was it G? So I mean, even then, it's a G, C, and D7.
And D.
There was a little fly. He flew into the store. He on the table, on the floor, on the head. On the eggs and on the ham, on the head of the little grocery man. Like it's it should be pretty simple. It's like 1-4-5, so you don't have to be like super duper advanced to know that one. I mean, if you want it for your husband, I'm guessing is that at your vocal range, it might be easier to do it in C anyway. So, like, I think, you don't got to do the big. I thought it was in C. Because that's a riff.
Oh, I don't know, maybe.
There was a little fly, he flew into the store.
That might be a easier key to sing in if your voice is higher too. So.
Yeah, so super simple. C, F, G7. It really is just that. Like, so you can learn that song, surprise your hubby, with the fly. Guys, like, I don't know if Aldrine knows that one. I do know that one. I love that song.
Again, like.
Oh, my recall. Yeah, never thought about it in like maybe 20 years up till just now. And then knew the chords and the lyrics and the picking.
Yeah. I was like hoping, okay, maybe we can tell them like, oh yeah, go ask somebody on the forum. They'll probably help you out or something. But it's like, nope, you got it.
If it's in the memory bank, it's in there. I can look it up.
Like.
My Rolodex. Go to my Mind Palace and then just look at the Rolodex. Okay, next.
Yoda said, which ukulele song would you play for Karate Kid?
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Like, which ukulele song would I play for the Karate Kid? Like, would I play for Ralph Macchio? Like, or would I play for the movie? Like, if I was part of the movie soundtrack, which one, would I do? What is the theme song? What was the one song from Karate Kid? What was like the famous one?
It's not the best around.
Yeah, nothing is gonna keep you down. I guess I'd play that if I would have played it for Ralph Macchio, or if I were to play for that, it would be you're the best around. Yeah. Nothing's ever gonna keep you down. You're the best around.
We did it, Mr. Miyagi. We did it.
We did. We beat the bully. Oh, look, I kicked him in the face. Or like I'm not supposed to be whacking people in the face in a karate competition. Yeah, there's so much inconsistencies, everybody. It's like not the movie you think it was. You remember it being, okay?
Oh, nah, I love that movie.
Yeah, illegal crank kick to the face. It's just.
Yeah, but that judge knew it's like earlier this kid was getting his ribs broken by the other guy, so kick to the face.
I had to say crane kick because I know I'm gonna get flamed for it. It's not a swan kick, it was crane. Like, all right, it's a bird kick.
Yeah.
So it's Chun-Li spinning bird kick to the face.
Oh, I just realized. I think my all-time favorite movie that is like a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
Over the Top.
Oh,
what?
What? That movie's so good. Who hates that movie?
I think it's like
it is considered a flop.
Yeah, it's considered like
I love that movie.
Right, one of Sylvester Stallone's like not good movies.
Yeah, I'm gonna save my son with arm wrestling.
Yeah, it's such a great movie. Like, why would? Yeah,
I love that movie. That movie is great. That movie is great. Don't ever think that like no one likes that movie. I don't think that's a guilty pleasure. I think it's just a pleasure.
Yeah.
I shouldn't feel guilty about liking Over the Top because Over the Top is awesome.
Talia said, I'm an absolute beginner with 10 years classic guitar background. My ukulele keeps slipping and sliding away from me. I cannot hold it right. Help.
Okay. If you're holding it, if you're like a classical guitar player, you're not gonna hold the ukulele the same way. Okay, it's just gonna be different. I mean, the ukulele is a completely different instrument, it's a different size. The approach is different. I tell this to a lot of guitar players who just like, I play guitar, I can play ukulele, I can teach ukulele. Like the worst is when they teach ukulele, and then it just like all bad habits that you do with guitar.
A lot of some of the skills transfer.
Yes, but like form is not the same.
Yeah.
It's just not the same. So form wise on the ukulele, as far as our school, Ukulele Underground, this is how we teach form to make sure that that the ukulele doesn't slide away. Okay,
for sitting.
For sitting. So 3 points of contact. The first point being the lower bout. That's on the right leg like this. Make sure that the middle of the ukulele where the neck meets the body is in line with the middle of your body, which is in line with your chin. Okay. Next, you want to bring it all the way in to your body. Bring it flush against your belly, and then move it about an inch or two forward. Okay, so you can see it like this. Bring it into my body, and then about an inch or two forward, and then lean the top end into my body. You can go a little bit more if you want to, but as long as you're not playing like this, you should be okay. But you want there to be a little bit of lean, because what it does, and I'll show it to you. So here, without the lean, this corner will be pointing that direction. But when we put it forward and lean it, see how that corner now points upward, and we're gonna use that corner. Okay, so this corner right here, we're gonna use our third point of contact, because our first one was the leg, second one was the body, and now the forearm. Okay, so the forearm, you're doing you take your pointer finger, place it on the sweet spot of the ukulele, which is where the frets are on the body, right here, and then bring your elbow in. Don't leave your elbow out. Bring your elbow in. Okay, and lean so that it looks like this. Okay, so what this does is, because you're bringing your elbow in, this like kind of locks it with your body, and then your the weight that you're putting on that locks it with the leg, so that like keeps it nice and steady. You're not moving your forearm at all. It's a wrist movement, and that's why I'm saying like a lot of guitar players, classical players, are not gonna have the same or the correct form, because this is a lot different from from the guitar. The guitar requires a little bit more forearm than the ukulele. The ukulele is all wrists. So you're there, so you just kind of point yourself down to the ground, point yourself down to the ground, and that's how you strum and finger pick, so that you can see. You can kind of see, like, if your form is right. So my form, my wrist looks nice and relaxed. It doesn't look, forced or anything. Because if your elbow is out like this, not only are you too far in, then your wrist is gonna jut out like this. So if you see like an ukulele player's wrist and do that, I cringe a lot, because this is not great for you to have the wrists be so bent when you play. So bring this in, so that you're gonna get a little bit of the wrist going up, but it doesn't have to be like this. Okay, that's not great for you. So with that said, bring the headstock to about shoulder height. All right, this also affects where you're leaning on that corner that we talked about, because if your ukulele is like, say, parallel to the floor, then you're not getting that corner. And if you are getting that corner, then you got to bring your elbow in, and it looks like this. But it's actually here, so that you get this. So because this angle gives you this like V with your forearm and your fretboard. Okay, so if it's straight like that, then you kind of have to grab it from the side, which is how you hold it if you're standing up. But if sitting down that way, when you do your wrist, it's a little bit more bent than usual, rather than this, where it looks a lot more relaxed. So this, see, like the kind of bend that my wrist is doing, rather than this. So you want that, you want this V, because later on too, when you do rolls and chunks, that V is gonna matter. Okay, because when you do it this way and you try to do a chunk, it's like you have to kind of like twist your wrist even more. But here it's just about dropping the wrist. So form wise, it also affects the techniques that you'll be doing later on, like rolls and chunks and finger picking and regular picking and stuff like that. So if you want good form early on, make sure you do it like this, and move the headstock forward, so that your left arm doesn't do this. So a lot of the times I see elbows out like so, and that's so uncomfortable, and then it's gonna cause some tennis elbow. Bring your elbow in on both sides. It should look like this. It just should look like you're trying to communicate with your hands, like so. You don't communicate with your hands like this. So every time I see somebody like with this kind of form, it's like, oh, that looks painful, because hold your ukulele like this and do that. Like, you're gonna feel, you're gonna feel it here, you're gonna feel it here on your elbow, and both arms. I feel a little bit of tension right here, and so move it forward and then bring your elbow in, so that it looks nice and relaxed. That's all. You should be able to actually hold it without even supporting it on the left side. And notice, like, my wrist is not like this or contorted or anything like that. It just looks like nice and relaxed. So even going from like strumming to picking, not a problem. and then you use the left hand to keep it even more stable, so that you don't have to work the holding on the right side. But same thing, like nice and relaxed wrist on the left. Make sure the left is not doing this, it's not doing that, So it's not the wrist is relaxed. That's the main thing to look for, is how relaxed both your wrists, left and the right, are.
Yeah, I think the difference between like a classical guitar, how they hold it, and an ukulele is like they'll slide the bout to like the middle of where they are, right?
Yeah, they'll hold it here.
And then that kind of makes it so they gotta wrap their arm around like a bigger guitar.
Right.
Too.
The ukulele, that's not a problem.
Yeah. Or like, and when we see people who wrap their arm around ukuleles and they're like, oh, it's because like I'm a guitar player or something. Mm-hmm. With the ukulele, you pretty much like always want to be, if you're sitting down, you always want to be applying downward pressure on just that like corner.
Right here. Yeah, the corner. Okay. And it looks like it's up against my body, but it's actually like out like this. And there's a triangle that like Aaron talks about in his how to hold video of like the ukulele, your body, left arm, rather than this. Then you get dinosaur arms. Speaking of Jurassic Park.
Wait.
One last one. Sure. Only one last one. Yeah.
Okay. Tiger.
Tiger uppercut.
Said, do you use your nail or meat of your finger when strumming upwards?
Both. Because you're gonna hit the meat first, but then like my nail is long enough that it catches a little bit of that of the nail, but you can make it so that you don't. If I make my pointer finger a little bit straighter, so if I have it straighter, then it's gonna be like all flesh coming out. But I hook that finger so that when I do a down strum. And then I do up. It hits it from this. Oh, I guess you can kind of see that. So it hits it from flesh first, then finishes with the nail. But for the most part, it's mostly flesh that's hitting it. But the angle gets you to hit it with the tip of the nail as well. Yeah. So it's like I get the density behind the hit from the flesh, but also the tone, like that bright tone that the nail gives. Okay, kind of like the same, as when you pick with the with your thumb. So it's like flesh and then nail out at the end.
More than like worrying about the nail or flesh is like just try and get that like natural strumming art.
Yeah, point to yourself down to the ground, and it's like a curl.
Yeah, and I think when it sounds right and it sounds good.
Yeah,
like you don't, and because like we see people who they try so hard to focus on strumming with their nail that they're just like going like this.
Yeah,
like,
don't do this kind of strum. Make sure that there's a twist in the wrist and you're not using your forearm.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people that strum. That's not it. And you can kind of see, I'll do it from this angle. My forearm like barely moves. We do it island style. From the mountain. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that said, please check out ukuleleunderground.com for all of your ukulele needs. You want to learn how to play songs, you want to learn how to play ukulele solos, you want to learn more about music. We have everything and more over at ukuleleunderground.com, especially if you sign up for UU Plus. You can take your ukulele playing to that next level with UU Plus, but Ukulele Underground has everything that you need in order to get started playing the ukulele. We have songs, we have ukuleles, we have a shop where you can buy, and we can buy some Ukulele Underground swag to show people that you're an ukulele player, because how are you going to show people you're a uke player if you don't wear uke shirts, right? I feel like it's that's what you do as an ukulele player. Show the world that that you play ukulele. And what better way to do it than show off your Ukulele Underground merch? You can buy some merch over at shop.ukuleleunderground.com. Sign up for U Plus over at ukuleleunderground.com. Make a friend or two over on forums.ukuleleunderground.com. We have tons and tons of stuff that you guys can consume over at ukuleleunderground.com. We have all that and more. Okay, and more. Right, Kai?
Yep. Yeah, and just a quick shout out or we the site was having problems earlier this last couple of weeks, but we finally got it fixed, and that's thanks to Tim and the team who helped.
Nice. Now problem free. Now site.
We still have things we're gonna improve, but at least people can go and check out the lessons and sign up for Ukulele Underground.
Yeah, so make sure you check that out.
Shout out to Tim.
Shout out to Tim. He's in the chat, right?
Yeah.
I saw him in the chat earlier.
Mm-hmm. He said, "Oh yeah, we probably need to get him a moniker as well."
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh, I said it was his real name.
No, well, because there's the legend and the voice.
Okay,
we got to figure out one.
Okay.
I was gonna tell Tim that I think. Or have you heard that the thing about Top Gun that's unrealistic is that they don't have cool call signs in the Air Force? Mm-hmm. Usually your call sign is lame thing that happens to you and other people call it. I feel like our nicknames aren't stuff that we choose.
Yeah.
It's when you call us something and just if we cringe the most, then you're that is it.
That's the one.
That's gonna be your nickname.
So yeah, I told them it kind of does have to come from Aldrine. So
it's just something that would make you
cringe.
Yeah,
to ruminate.
And it's probably not gonna be oh, that's the perfect nickname. Yeah, I love that.
It's the one that you deal with.
It's when Aldrine says, "Say what's up," you just go, "What's up?"
I mean, the one the one thing about Tim that always stands out to me is his long flowy hair. You know, so I kind of want to come up with some kind of Tim the Flow, T-Flow or something. It's that gorgeous flowy hair that he always has. I'm gonna think of something, and it's I want to see if it sticks.
Yeah, oh man, I don't want to add to this because Tim did so much to make the site better. It's the thing I thought about is those Fabio books where it's you see his hair on it. Right?
Yeah, but you can't call him Tim Romance Novel Tim,
Tim Bio. Okay.
Yeah. We'll figure something out. T-Flow. I kind of dig it. Tim the Flow.
Okay. Yeah.
Flo Wilson.
Okay.
Something. Well, I'll come up with something. Don't worry about that, Tim. If you want one, I'll give you one.
Yeah.
I'll give you a moniker.
Mike has to deal with his.
That's right.
Well, and his is ongoing and evolving.
Yeah. It's always
evolving. Mike, ooh, my fingy. Odo.
It's always good when we say a nickname for Mike and he goes, "Oh my god!" Then it's ooh, I hit a good one.
Yeah, Magic Mike, Odo.
Funk Master,
Magic Mike, Funk Magic Mike. It's ever evolving. All right, we'll see you folks next time. Have a great one. Please, once again, check out ukuleleunderground.com. You like the show, you want to support the show, please, ukuleleunderground.com so that, we can fix things when things break. All right, and it shouldn't take 2 weeks because you guys are oh, here's some support. Oh, hey, we got all the support. Let's fix it right away. All good. So check out ukuleleunderground.com. Okay, I'll see you folks on Friday for our little Friday live jam. See you then. Aloha. Love you.